In this video, I'm going to talk about disable empty address record creation functionality within Power Platform. Now, this is applicable not only for Dynamics 365 customer service, but it is applicable for any model driven app. Now, just to give you a context, I'm in Dynamics 365 customer service hub application and I'm in contacts table. Now, here, what happens is whenever you create a new contact, then a contact has three address attached to it. Okay, address one, address two, and address three. So, just to show you in the backend, like I'm in the make.powerapps interface, I'm in the backend table, contact table. Now, here, if you see against each and every contact, there are multiple addresses. So, if you see here, address one has these many fields attached to it. Okay, now, if I just scroll down, then you should be able to see address 2 as well. So against an address, there are many fields or many columns attached to it. So there's address 1, address 2, and address 3. Okay. Now, what used to happen earlier is that whenever you create a contact, whenever you create a contact within your backend, then all these three address field gets populated in a different table. Okay, and that different table is called as addresses. Okay, now, so what happens? So let me demonstrate it to you. So take, for example, if I create a new contact over here. So let me name that contact. So I'm just filling up some information. So the contact name is Steve Blinken. Okay, so if that's the contact name, and I'll try to fill in some address information. So one Microsoft Way, and city is San Jose, and okay, so I'm just populating some information. Okay, and now I'm saving this contact. Okay, now once I save this contact, the Steve Blinken contact, and I've just put one address field. Now if I go in the backend and if I try to refresh this particular record view, now the current timing at my place is 5:24 p.m. 28th of Jan. Okay, now just to demonstrate it to you, I have opened the addresses table, and here I have selected some columns. Okay, address created on. Now if you see created on, there are three record which got created at 5:24 p.m. Okay, now against that one address, now this row is address number one, this row is address number two, address number three. Now I'm not using address two and address three, but still it is utilizing the backend dataverse table rows. Okay, now that's quite inefficient. Okay, so you don't want, if you do not have address 2 and address 3, then you don't want this blank record to be created. Okay, so that's the problem. Okay, now how do we fix that? Now recently Microsoft has released a new feature. So now how to navigate is like, first you need to go into the Power Platform Admin Center, go into the right environment. In my case, it's customer service trial environment. Now, remember, this is not specifically for customer service application. It is applicable for any backend Dataverse table which has a contact table uh, linked to it. Now, here I'm in this particular environment. I'm going into product, and under product, I'll go to the features. Now, under features, if you scroll down a bit, then here you should see one feature setting called as disable empty address record creation. Now what it says is like, no empty address record will be created if create payload request does not contain address info. So in our case there, I just added address 1, and it has created three rows: address 1, address 2, address 3. Now if I don't want that behavior, then you can turn on this feature. It says this will only take effect on three entities: account, contact, lead. Okay, so it is only applicable for three entities: account, contact, and lead. We are using the contact entity. So let's turn this on, and now let's save this and see the behavior. Okay, so I've just made that change. the change might take some time to propagate. And once you are done with that, let me again go back to the contacts table and now again create the same contact record, okay, but with a different name. So maybe this time I'll call it as Jim Chalmers, and I'll add one loopway, Brisbane, Queensland, and Australia. Now again, same scenario. I'm just adding one address record, address one. I'm not using address two or address three. Let me save this record and see what happens. Okay, so the record is saved now, and the time is 5:27 p.m. Let me refresh this. So I'm in the addresses table now. I have just refreshed the addresses table entry. And now you have seen that for that record, I just have one particular row created. Okay, if you see this, there's just one row which is created. Unlike in the last time, it created three rows. Okay, so the feature which we have just enabled allows you to disable uh, basically creating multiple blank address record within the backend table called as addresses. Okay, so that's how you basically turn on those feature. Now this addresses table, now if you want to find that, you can again in the backend you can go into the tables in make.powerapps.com interface, click on all and search for address. Okay, now, address is basically that internal name is customer address. It stores basically the address related information in the backend table for that particular contact or lead record or account entities. So that's it, folks. This is how you basically, if you want to make your backend Dataverse more efficient in terms of utilizing the address field, then make sure that you turn this feature on so that it will not create any empty address record if the payload does not contain any address information. Thanks for watching.